The power of visualization is the true human superpower. Your brain can't tell the difference between reality and imagination. Think about it. What we see in our minds has the power to make us happy, sad, thrilled, or depressed. The fastest way to transform your entire reality isn't by reading another book. It's closing your eyes and running the movie of your desired future over and over. Bob Proctor said if you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand, and he's right. Close your eyes right now. Imagine the life you hunger for most, not the fantasy, the life that other people have. You see them living it, but it feels terrifying and impossible for you, that life. Hold it in your mind. Now open your eyes. That image isn't a delusion, it's a map. Most people think visualization is daydreaming, a pleasant escape from reality. But the truth is, ancient traditions and modern science agree that visualization is the mind's most powerful tool for transformation. If you learn to use it correctly, you can rewire your brain, reshape your identity, and bend your reality to catch up with your vision. Have you ever tried to visualize before? Maybe it was the promotion, the relationship, the healthier, stronger body. And then what happens? Doubt, procrastination, the habits you tried to form fall apart after a week, the fear wins, and before you know it, you're back where you started. You start thinking, maybe visualization is just hype, maybe it's for athletes, monks, and billionaires. But clearly not me. But here's what both neuroscientists and sages tell us. Visualization is not your imagination just running wild. It's rehearsal, the same kind of rehearsal Hollywood actors go through to be in the movies. The same kind of rehearsal pilots go through before the plane takes off. What's the difference between mental rehearsal and daydreaming? Rehearsal wires into your brain a few unconscious signals. It tells your brain that, this is important, this is really about to happen, and if I'm not prepared, this is gonna go really badly for me. At that point, when you take visualizing your goals and dreams that seriously, that's when it starts to transform your life. Harvard research shows that if you just visualize practicing the piano, visualization only, the same regions of your brain strengthen as those who actually practice physically. The muscle fibers in athletes receive microsignals during mental rehearsal, preparing them to perform when competition comes. Neuroscience calls it functional equivalence. The brain cannot fully distinguish between vividly imagined experience and lived experience. We can even go back 5,000 years in the Bhagavad Gita. Krishna tells Arjuna that the mind is both friend and enemy. When your mind is disciplined, it carries you toward liberation. When it is undisciplined, it chains you to suffering. Visualization is one way we discipline the mind, giving it an image so clear, so embodied, that it starts reshaping not only your thoughts but your very biology. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, practiced negative visualization, rehearsing hardship so he met reality with strength instead of shock. Buddhist monks practice metta-bhavana, visualizing compassion flowing to others until it becomes effortless. Vedic yogis use sankalpa, the setting of an intention so deeply visualized that it imprints on the subconscious. The point here is that across cultures and time the pattern is identical. If you can see it clearly inside, you are halfway to creating it outside. Have you ever heard of Roger Bannister? Everyone believed the 4-minute mile would kill a man's heart. Bannister ignored the dogma and rehearsed it, mentally, over and over. He saw the pace, the curve of the track, the surge at the final stretch, and in 1954, he did it. And once he broke it, dozens of runners broke that 4-minute mark within a year. The body didn't change. The belief did. Visualization cracked the prison of perception. Take a second to really understand what that means. The power of his visualizations alone gave others the freedom to pursue their own potential. Otherwise, it's likely that this myth of the 4-minute mile would have lasted decades after that. Simply by believing in his own potential and visualizing it, he moved humanity forward. For any sane person, all of that is basically proof in the power of visualization. So now you're probably wondering, how do I use this in my own life so that I can shatter my own goals and achieve my dreams? The answer is 3 principles drawn from science and ancient wisdom. The first thing you do to get full benefit from visualizing is make it vivid. I mean seriously vivid. There's a story about a sage whose meditation was so real in his own mind that he burnt his finger in the visualization, and when he opened his eyes, his finger was actually burnt. So, ideally that vivid. Neuroscience shows that the richer the imagery, the stronger the neural pathways. When I visualize having conversations with people, interacting with others I'd like to meet, it's so real for me that I had to develop a mental mechanism for turning it off. Otherwise, I'll go to the bathroom or get dressed and feel like those people are in the room with me. You have your visualizations to be that powerful. Don't just see the goal. Feel the sweat on your skin, hear the applause, smell the room, notice your pulse steady with confidence. In the Vedic tradition, this is called bhavana, to generate a felt sense of the reality you seek. The second is to visualize the process, not just the prize. You can visualize the end game as an anchor, but the process is just as powerful and actually better for priming you. Olympians don't just picture medals, they picture the mornings when they drag themselves out of bed, the exact rhythm of their strokes in the water. Basically, you anchor the feeling of the result with result-based visualization, but then you also want to anchor the process with process-based visualization. Visualization is like hacking the movie trailer of your life. Your brain sees the preview so many times it starts rearranging the whole movie to match it. Alright, the third thing is you want to visualize the identity, not the effort. Cognitive psychology shows that when you frame behaviors as part of who you are, they stick. "I don't smoke" is more powerful than "I'm trying to quit." Visualization must be the same. In Vedanta, they say, you are that. You are that consciousness that animates the world, and you become whatever you decide to become. In other words, you become what you repeatedly identify with. Because here's the actual deepest truth I could ever offer you. You will never outgrow your self-image. James Clear calls this identity-based habits. We act in alignment with who we think we are. It's easy for me to not smoke. I've never in my life felt a single craving because I'm not a smoker. See how that works? Neuroplasticity research proves the brain is malleable, but only if we feed it repeated identity-congruent images. The Upanishads said this 10,000 years ago. As a man thinks, so he becomes. Is this starting to make sense now? I'll break it down even further. If you keep rehearsing yourself as the person who always quits, no habit will stick. If you rehearse yourself as unlucky, opportunity will slide past. But when you rehearse night after night the identity of the future you, the calm leader, the resilient parent, the courageous creator, your nervous system begins to accept it as fact. And once your identity changes, behavior will follow like gravity. Matter of fact, before we get to the end of the video, let me give you 5 more of what I think are pro tips for taking your visualizations, and therefore manifestations, to the next level. Let's get through them really quick and make sure you use at least one of these today. When you visualize, don't just sit still, move with it. Even tiny movements while imagining your goal light up your motor cortex, making the brain believe it's already happening. Second, sync your breath with the scene. Studies show rhythmic breathing enhances focus and locks the imagery deeper into long-term memory. Third, don't just see it, sense it. Add touch, temperature, smell, and sound. Neuroscience shows the more senses engaged, the stronger the neural imprint. Fourth, imagine from your future self. Picture it as if you're looking back on a memory, because the brain codes memories as more real than wishes. And fifth, time your practice with biology. Just before sleep or right after waking, your brain is in theta state, the most powerful window for embedding new realities. So tonight, when you close your eyes, don't just drift into sleep. Choose the image. Who do you need to become so vividly in your mind that reality has no choice but to catch up? Write it down and keep it somewhere. Visualization is not fantasy. It is practice. It is science, it is philosophy, it is psychology, it is wisdom passed down through every tradition. Use it daily. And watch how the blueprint you hold inside becomes the world you step into. I have a bunch of videos on visualization techniques that you can use right now on my channel. There are 2 videos on the screen that's probably on visualization that you can watch after this one. Make sure to subscribe if you want to see more videos on how to manifest your dreams, and please remember, what you see in your mind is not fiction, it's a preview. And your future self is waiting for you to live it. See you in the next video.